Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Live Penguin TV. My name's Sky. I'm going to be your host for the evening, and we've got Tom.
Hi everyone, 2,791 penguins last night, which is at least 3 nights in a row, either side of 3,000, hopefully similar tonight. It's a bit dark and stormy, they're actually starting to cross already. I'll keep an eye on the YouTube feed, any interesting questions we'll pass on, but we do get a lot of questions, so keep it short and simple, and we'll see how we go. Have a good night.
All right, so penguins have begun. That's fantastic. We just got that call in, and I have to tell you, everybody, it is a dark and dreary night here at Phillip Island at the Penguin Parade, and there is a constant and steady mist. Yep, there they are. There's a constant and steady mist that is coming. So would you believe it? It's Ranger Stephen counting tonight, and he came down and cleaned this camera just 10 minutes ago, and already the mist has covered it again. So we're going to do our best to get this the footage to you tonight. But here they go. Yep, they've arrived, and they're crossing the beach already. You can just see these little figures through the blurry camera. We'll do our best to show you. Yep, we're coming to you live from Phillip Island, Malau. And I'd just like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of Malau, of Phillip Island, the Bunurong of the Kulin Nation, and pay my respects to elders past, present, and emerging as we watch these little penguins crossing the beach. And tough to see them tonight. So we're really going to be looking for their white bellies there. Oh, they've stopped. Oh, they're fleeing. Where are you going? What's happened? I wonder what has scared them. Oh, they just might be sticking closer to the rocks, perhaps. That might be the problem. The other thing is that it's a special time of year, everybody, and it is that little penguins aren't the only birds that are returning home tonight. So Chris Eaton, a regular viewer, thanks for tuning in night after night, Chris. I saw you ask last night, have the shearwaters arrived back? Have there been many shearwaters? And the answer is yes. So for those of you who don't know, we have another bird. It's called the short-tailed shearwater, and they spend the summer months, so starting now until about April, they spend their time on Phillip Island, and they raise their chicks here on Phillip Island. And just as of the last few days, oh yep, they're racing now. As of the last few days, we've had the shearwaters come back, and they come back at about the same time as the penguins. And the penguins might be a little bit unsure, because it might give them a bit of a shock, because it's something they haven't seen since April at the start of the year. They might think that these are predatory birds, potentially. But yep, the short-tailed shearwaters are back. Tom and I noticed it when we left last night. Usually we just hear the penguin noises when we leave the building. You hear and things like that. But last night we heard the short-tailed shearwater voices, and it sounds a bit like a wheezy witch. It sounds a bit like oh gosh, camera, come on. And if you don't believe me, you can jump on our Facebook page and have a look. We did a post celebrating the return of our shearwaters, and it does have a recording that you can listen to as well. So if you don't trust my impersonation and look, that's probably a good call. You can go and have a look on Facebook. All right, welcome home, little penguins. It's tough to see you tonight, but yet they are jumping into our pool and heading on their way home. So a small little raft. Let us know how many you think it was, and we'll see if we can get numbers. Oh, it's going to be too tough in the water. I'll see if we can get numbers for you for that raft from Stephen. And we'll see if this other camera, as they round the corner, see if this other camera is any better, but it looks like it's got some pretty severe mist on it as well. You know, it is a live event, and yep, it is rainy and misty out there. Not great for our camera lenses. Getting coated in this rain. It's a night where I think all of us are pretty pleased that we're sitting on our couches and sitting inside watching this rather than being on the stands. All right, let's watch these penguins come around the corner. Oh, yeah, a few drips there. As I said, we literally did wipe these down just 10 minutes ago. But here they go. Hopefully it'll dry up as the night goes on. So I was telling you about these short-tailed shearwaters. We're really excited to be welcoming them back. And our researchers, oh, have we got a shell grid down the bottom there? Thinking about going the opposite way? Yes, it does look like we do. So we've got one, oh, no, turned around. Perhaps not. We do have researchers that are going to be heading out to our short-tailed shearwater colonies over the coming weeks and monitoring the health and checking to see how many have come back and the health of the colony there, I guess, as well. And that's just some of the good work that Phillip Island Nature Parks does. So we are Phillip Island Nature Parks. We run the penguin parade, but we also look after the shearwaters. We look after all sorts of threatened species as well, like hooded plovers, eastern barred bandicoots. We look after koalas in our Koala Conservation Reserve, and we monitor a lot of the Southside beaches as well. We are a not-for-profit conservation organisation. And if you'd like to support some of the work that we do here at Phillip Island Nature Parks, you can head to the description. There is a link to the Penguin Foundation, and if you donate to the Penguin Foundation, you can adopt a penguin, you can become a penguin pal. You can just donate to some of the great work that we do here. All right. Oh, is that another little raft? So yeah, it's a foggy night. I'll zoom out a little bit so you can just sort of see what we're dealing with. Yeah, it's a really misty, foggy night here tonight, and I reckon we might have a few more penguins. I thought I can see some movement. Is that some penguins in the middle there? Let's have a look. Oh, can it focus? Let's try and get a little bit closer. I could just be zooming in on seaweed, everybody. I don't even know if these are penguins. I can't tell. I reckon it might be, though. Come on, let's see what we can do. Oh, you have a few in the back there. And oh, yes, a few just perching, just sitting in the middle of the sand. What are you doing, penguins? You're not confident to run forward. You're not confident to run back. They're making a careful walk forward, perhaps. Oh dear, it's tough. And keep your thoughts with Stephen as well, because Stephen's in the skybox, and that same mist that we have coating our cameras will be coating the windows that he's looking out of as well. Or even if he's got the windows open, he'll have the binoculars up and the mist will be hitting his binoculars as well. So he is going to have a tough job at counting tonight. Stephen out there with Linda assisting him, and Linda will be out in the elements. Linda will be standing out on the stands getting hit with this misty drizzle. So send your love for Stephen and Linda there tonight as well. So, yep, the penguins, we've had one raft in. Did we get any numbers on that, Tom? No, haven't heard a number on that. So we'll keep awaiting some more. I might just have to stay quite zoomed out to be able to see if a bigger raft arrives, although we might have a look. Oh yeah, very drippy. We'll have a look on the rocks and see if we can watch some penguins here a little bit. Yeah, so it drips right there, but we'll see what we can do. Hi penguins, good to see you home. So this is the little penguin. 33 centimetres tall, 1 kilo in weight, and they have spent their day out fishing. They've been eating pilchards and anchovies and sea jellies and squid. And it's now the evening, the sun has set, and it's time to come back to their burrows where it is the breeding season, so they've got little chicks that they might be looking after. They've got eggs that they might be caring for as well. And so they've formed out in the ocean into rafts. That means groups of penguins in the ocean, and as many of you know, they make a hucking noise to find each other. So the noise that penguins make at this time of night is huck, 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 and they're calling to one another, finding groups, and then they'll swim in together at the same time. So that's why we get this penguin parade that we love to watch. Oh, we've got more penguins coming this way. Let's have a little look. So this penguin parade that we get is because of that rafting behaviour. It's because there's safety in numbers. So they don't want to cross this long, low tide beach in small groups. They want to be in really big groups where they're nice and safe, where the chance that they'll be the penguin that gets eaten is much lower. All right, we're trying to get a number at the moment.
68.
68. So that was 68. How did you guys go with counting that raft there? 68's tough in these conditions. But if you want to be a penguin counter, you've got to be able to do it in all sorts of conditions. And this is part of the fun of the job for a lot of us penguin rangers here, is that you never know what you're going to be out in. Some nights it's a beautiful clear night. Other nights the rain is sideways and you're just getting absolutely buffeted. But it's fun. It's a bit of an adventure. So I tell you what, don't mind being in my short sleeves sitting inside tonight. All right. Is there any penguins coming? Can you see them? Anybody? I'm sort of keen to keep my eyes here because I do want to see the penguins come out of the water. With big numbers like we've been having recently, 3,000 for the 2 nights before last night 2,791. We are having really big nights. I would have loved to have got the hat trick 3 nights in a row of 3,000. That's all right, we'll have to try again another night to get that hat trick. Oh, is this more penguins arriving? Oh, we might have some more. Yes, more penguins. I can see the white bellies. That's about all I can get at the moment. Rain, rain, go away. Come again another day. Or come again not at sunset. Don't come while we're trying to watch the penguins. Tom was saying earlier he would have preferred if it was just downward rain. It would probably be less interference, but this mist just coats everything so perfectly. All right, there we go. Oh, yes, okay. So, penguin counters, it is a tough night for you tonight. Do what you can with this. How many have we got? And I wonder, will this mist interfere with our penguins coming home? Will they be able to find their ways back to their burrows? Will they be similarly having trouble with vision like we are? Oof, if whoever gets close to the penguin numbers tonight, we'll have to give you a Mars bar or something like that. And actually, that's something that we do as rangers. We have a little bet going each night where we guess how many penguins we think will arrive each night. And whoever gets the number closest gets a chocolate bar. And I think a prize is or we might just need to give Stephen a prize tonight for counting in these sorts of conditions. So all I can see is just a lot of little white bellies moving around. Yeah, there we go. Okay, the focus has come in a little bit now. Hi, penguins. Oh, gosh. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, no, impossible. So while we watch them, let's get a question.
Okay, this is from Leith. How long can our penguins stay out in the ocean for, our little penguins?
Hi, Leaf. How long can our penguins stay out in the ocean for? Well, the food is in the ocean, so they can survive in the ocean for quite some time. Our penguins tend to stay in the ocean for about 4 weeks at a time. That's how long it tends to be before they'll come back to their burrows and maybe do have a bit of a rest on land, maybe check in on their burrow, maybe do a bit of renovations ready for the breeding season, that sort of thing. So generally it's about that long, although I believe the penguins in their first year will spend a very long time away. Do you know exactly how long it is in that first year, Tom?
Up to 12 months.
Up to 12 months, there you go. So they can be in the water a very, very long time, and they sleep in the water with their heads above the water, and they usually do sleeps of about 4 minutes. When they come back to the land, they're not usually sleeping. It's business time on land. It's party time. They've got partners to have some fun with. That's when they're all together. In the ocean, they're more solitary, as I said. So we tend to, that's when they tend to do a bit of their sleeping. Great question. Thanks for that. Oh, how are you going with this counting, everybody? Tough night of it tonight, but it seems like there's lots of penguins still. The bad weather hasn't seemed to put them off at all. Let's we might zoom out a little bit, see if we can, now that they're a bit closer, see if we can get more of a view. Is there more coming along the beach as well? Oh, there is. Is that another raft sort of joining on to that other raft? Oh, my goodness. Oh, Stephen, look at that. I hope you can see this, everybody. There's just all I can see is just white bellies everywhere, pretty much all the way from the ocean all the way to the edge. So it seems like a second raft has joined on and just turned this first raft into a giant mega raft or waddle as they are now of penguins. Oh, wow. Come on, camera. Focus. I want to be able to see with this. I'll try again. Let's try again. This is a huge raft. Poor Stephen. Oh, yeah, there you go. Okay, so you can sort of just see that smudge of white bellies. It's just not stopping, is it? Might zoom out again so you can sort of get the full context of what's going on there. So yeah, you can see all the way to the top. That's where the water's edge is, and it's just a constant stream of penguins. Oh, wow. What a lot of penguins. So we might sort of go close to the rocks and see if we can get, oh, it's a bit clearer in here. Let's try and get this vision here. It seems like it's got a little bit of a break in the drips there. Oh, this is just masses of penguins. What a huge night. Imagine if we crack over 4,000 tonight, everybody. Wouldn't that be fantastic? All right, let's get another question while we watch these guys come in.
From Catherine, how long do our penguins live for?
Oh, Catherine, that is a loaded question. That is a tough question to answer, and that is because it really does depend. So our oldest penguin that we've ever had was almost 26 years old. So that is really old for a penguin. That's not very normal at all. More normal would be in the teens. However, the average age is 7, around 7. And that is because, unfortunately, a lot of our penguins don't make it through their first year. It's a really tough first year. They've got to figure out how to swim on their own, catch fish on their own, find their way to the beach on their own, defend themselves against predators on their own. And so, yeah, a lot of them don't make it through the first year. So that brings the average right down. But if a penguin makes it through those first tumultuous years, they're likely to make it into their teens. Oh, look at all these penguins. They're banking up even off the rocks and onto the beach because there's just no room on the rocks for them all, and they're still coming. Oh, smudges are in very frustrating places. But there's just stacks and stacks of penguins, and they're not stopping. They're still just coming and coming. Oh, look at that. Look at these rocks. Just an absolute swarm. Yep, they're having to stop. The preening rocks have sort of extended onto the beach because there's no room. What a huge night for penguins. Fantastic. Oh, you'll have to tune in tomorrow night to get to find out the numbers that we had tonight, because this is a big penguin number night. All right, let's have a look at this other screen for a little bit and watch them come by. Then another question that we got last night, everybody, was from another regular viewer called Jamila. And Jamila asks, how do penguins deal with eating fish with plastic? And it's a really good question. Thanks for asking that, Jamila. So our unfortunately, fish end up getting a bit of plastic in their belly, and because the penguins eat so many fish, they eat the plastic that was in that fish as well, and they end up getting lots and lots of plastic in their belly. On top of that, they can also eat plastic outright themselves. A plastic bag or a balloon looks a lot like a sea jelly. So penguins can end up with a lot of plastic in their belly. And to answer your question, Jamila, how do they deal with that? They can't really. This is the real unfortunate thing, is that this plastic sits in their belly. They sometimes can't get it out. They can't get it up. They can't poo it out. And so it just sits in their belly, and they get more and more of it, and it fills up their belly, which is really, really sad. So that is a really good reason for you all to reduce, reuse and recycle plastics as much as possible, but particularly balloons. Hard plastics will sit in the penguin's belly and will sort of accumulate over time, but they're not necessarily immediately fatal, whereas balloons can kill a seabird very quickly. So we are asking everybody, it's such a small change for you all to make, is just at your next outdoor event, blow bubbles instead of balloons. If you want to use balloons, use them inside and then pop them in the bin afterwards. But don't use those helium balloons that fly up into the air, because they will pop, they will come back down, they end up in waterways, they end up in the ocean, and then unfortunately they end up in seabird bellies, and they cause issues very, very quickly, much faster than other types of plastic. So it's a really easy change for you all to make, is just to be careful with your balloons. Pop them in the bin after you use them. Make sure that they don't fly up into the air and end up in our poor penguin bellies. Oh, something just went scooting past the screen there. I couldn't tell if it was a rabbit or a bandicoot. I hope it was a bandicoot. Let's go back to the main view and have a little look. So I believe we've got only a few minutes left, everybody. It's been because the penguins arrived so quickly, it's been a quick night tonight. Can we see anything? Any penguins arriving? Ooh. No, that vision is, with the darkness, has become damn near impossible now. So let's head back to the rocks and see what we can see going on the rocks. So stacks of penguins still on the rocks. Let's zoom out a little bit, get a good look at this. So yeah, big drips on the screen, unfortunately, but you can see a lot of penguin white bellies just on those rocks there. I reckon I can see another little waddle of penguins coming along the beach. Oh yeah, that just dripped out of the way. That might help us out. Some more penguins crossing. Let's see if we can see them. Oh yep, a small little group just making their way there. All right, let's get one more question, Tom, from our Waddle Watchers.
This is from David. Do we move rocks, or do we do any landscaping on the beach to make it easier for the penguins to come in?
Yeah, good question. Thanks for that. So a little bit, yeah. Sometimes we can get big sort of sand cliffs with sort of high tides that make it difficult for the penguins to pass up their usual pathways. So sometimes we'll do a little bit of renovation on the beach. We won't really move rocks or anything like that, but we'll mostly just, I guess, fix the pathway so it is possible for them to get back to their homes. If it's too steep a sandy cliff, then we'll fix that. Do you know of much other landscaping that we do? No. Bit of vegetation clearing as well. You know, sometimes we do get some weeds in the area that shouldn't be there, so we do. Our rangers do head out and do some weed clearing as well. But no, mostly we try to leave it as natural as possible for these penguins. So we try not to interfere too much. We try to just get rid of the things that shouldn't be there in the first place. All right. So look, make sure you do donate to the Penguin Foundation so that we can keep removing those weeds, so that we can keep helping our penguins get home each night. Make sure you tune in tomorrow to see how many penguins we've got tonight, because yeah, it's going to be huge. I could not believe that big raft that we saw, the double raft that we saw before, that was just out of this world. Although I wonder if the mist made it seem more than it was. Who knows? And this is the fun of a live penguin TV, is that you never know what you're going to get, or what obstacles you're going to be hit with each night. All right, is there anything else I need to mention, Tom?
Not that I can think of, no.
All right, fantastic. Well, thank you so much for tuning in tonight, everybody. Hopefully we'll have some better weather for you tomorrow night. I believe it's going to be Ranger Stephen tomorrow night, so you'll have to give him your sympathies for the tough job of counting tonight. I reckon he can probably give you a bit of a summary of what it was like tomorrow when you see him. So tune in again tomorrow night, and we'll see you later in the week. Okay, goodbye, everybody.